Welcome, everybody. Come on. A warm welcome to everybody. Welcome to the live trading room. I'm Ashley Reeve here, guys. Before we do get started, remember the information we discuss in this video is opinion. Please don't construe this as advice in any way. It's the 20th of January. As mentioned, we steamrolling through the month, and we're ready to see what the markets are giving us towards the latter part of Jan. Yeah? All right, let's give it a couple of seconds for all the slow pokes waiting for them, yeah? All right. Nkosinati, I see you. Good afternoon. Good to be with you here. Let's wait for some of the slow pokes to come online, yeah? All right, so it's really good to be with you here this afternoon, guys. It is a very sunny, fine day in Johannesburg, Sandton, guys. We're streaming live from Johannesburg, and it's good to be with you once again on this live trading room here, guys. Everything's excellent at this point. We're just going to get into some of the charts to see what's happening. I got some fundamentals for you as well. And then obviously we're going to check out the charts. All right. So all the guys that are still going to come online, you're more than welcome. And to all the guys that's here for the very first time, welcome to the live trading room. Our account there, guys, you can visit support at care@tdmarkets.com if you have any questions, any queries. And also you can visit our website there, www.tdmarkets.com, if you'd like to open up that account with us. Yeah. All of that is on the screen there for you guys to check out. Let's get into today's session, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 20th of January once again. Let's see what's happening in the charts here. I have a few for you to look at here, and we're going to see if there's anything specific. I know that, gold is finding its base somewhere. It's very bullish. Gold to the euro is also finding its base somewhere. But we're going to go through those charts. Maybe let's just get some information on the fundamentals. Let's get in. So let's deal with the euro dollar at this point in time. All right. Let's see. We're going to the Euro USD now. Earlier on in the week, we had, some movement to the upside here. We were looking at pushing forward with the Euro USD. You can see now that it's actually gone above and to the areas that we had anticipated. Now, this was obviously the intraday movements that we had looked at, guys. And maybe just to give you just a bit of a breakdown here with regards to the euro dollar. At this point in time, we at the 1.17 mark is the strongest since early January. The US dollar weakened, and some of the reasons for that is, Germany released strong economic data boosting the confidence in the euro zone. President Trump threatened new tariffs on several European countries. And the impact thereof is pretty straightforward. All right. Remember, we're looking at this in increments. We're looking at this in fraction or fractional movements because you have your movement that is long, medium, and short. And obviously, what's happening in Jan is more short to medium term. And the impact that it's had here is that the stronger euro makes European exports more expensive. And the weaker dollar supports gold, silver, and other commodities. And that's been the impact of what I've just mentioned. And with that then being the case, we're seeing that obviously with the dollar being a bit softer there, we saw the move and the surge in the euro to our level at 1.16927. As you can see, that's what we had on there, and it's actually smashed that area very nicely. Coming from this low over here, it's found its base point, and it's been phenomenal just to the upside. Now, whilst this is the case on the 1 hour, one needs to look at the higher time frames now. All right, so the higher time frames at this point is now above, well, is above the 50, meaning that we have officially gone into the or resuming the uptrend that we're seeing on the weekly, and that is obviously relevant on the monthly as well. So we have officially gone into that specific direction. So we'll be looking for some longs here now. Obviously, we're anticipating price to possibly correct on the shorter time frames, that being the 15-minute, the 10-minute, the 5, the 3, and the 1. All right, so those are just shorter term impulses, guys. It does not mean we are going to reverse. All right, this would just be a counter movement to the rally that has already happened over there. So let's see, and remember, guys, there's different risk that guys are willing to take on when it comes to scalping. All right, I think myself and T has placed so much emphasis on this, that there is so much risk that's associated with it. If you're going to take it, you have to understand under what circumstances. So at this point, the diversion at this point in time is happening. You can see that whilst price on the main chart has pushed to the upside, the actual bias is that there's actually a correction that is taking place already. Now, how far that correction will be or how far it will go is at this point is not known. But what we can take from this specific one is we can look for the specific impulse that had pushed price from this area over here to this area over here. So if you look at it from that specific angle, we're looking at the impulse that took it from the, let's say, the 50 mark, which is roughly, hold on, let's just see if I can find it here. Let's just see if I can find it over here. So this was the 60 mark on the RSI. So if I'm going to use the 60, it's roughly around here. All right, this was the zone here. So this impulse from around this zone here, 1.16, all the way up, that impulse to the upside, or that thrust, or that movement to the upside, is what we're going to look for from a correction perspective. Remember, it's not us going to sell because it is a downtrend that's starting. No, it is still bullish, but we are looking for some upside, later on. This could just be price coming down, just for a short term. So if there's any guys that are looking for some quick scalps to the downside, let me just give you some context here as to what many of the guys would be doing if they're going to take that specific short. So let me quickly highlight. Let's go to work on this one, yeah? All right, so I want you to pay attention to this zone over here. Look at this area here. From that zone there, and I want you to see this zone. So essentially, these are the two very important points here, all right? So this is where price actually went above, and there was a closing of price roughly around, it was actually above the 80%, so it was really oversold. Overbought, I beg your pardon. Then we saw a push to the downside, all right, which does not look the same on the chart, which is very interesting. That's where the divergence and convergence comes in. So this next area here is where price was strong again. So this was the impulse, or this is an impulse or a thrust where we saw the value of the euro increase again. Now, from that area over there to this area over here, all right, I want you to be very, 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 I want you to pay close attention to this. On the 3-minute chart, we have that move over there. And on this side, we have this move over here. Now, you can see that price has come back to the 40, the 50, and the 60 range on the RSI. This is the baseline of support for this move to the upside. So there might be some further movement to the downside just back to the base. So I'm going to be using a 1 minute to do that. All right. A 1 minute, even although I want you guys to understand there is more buyers that is pushing the momentum to the upside. So if you're going to take a scalp on this one, you're going to take a very big risk. All right. So now we need to find a place where we are seeing, price really slow down. Now, if you look at the data window, you can bring that up on your MT5. All right. You're going to find that these points here that I'm pointing out right now, these points over here, they are more or less on the same baseline or at the same strength, because when it got to the zone, there was a thrust. From there was a thrust, and from there was another thrust. All right. Now, this zone over here, that's around 36, 34, and 35. When you look at the RSI, that's more or less where price started to really push from. Okay, so let me put a zone there so you can understand what I'm saying. That was the low area. All right, that was the lowest zone there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this area now. All right, and that's going to be our point of contact, just so you do know. We are dealing with the Euro USD. So this is a very important point right here. That range is important because every time price got to that area, we saw a push to the upside. All right, there might not have been equal strength, but there was a push to the upside. So this is the range that's going to be key here. Now, I'm not going to trade this on the 1 minute though. I'm going to bump up to the 3 and even the 5 minute. Okay, so if price, as an example here now, all right, pushes down and we close beneath this area here, that's where I will take a short from a counter move perspective. So that's at 1.17189, and then we're going to look at it this from the second angle. Okay, the second angle was that we saw price. Let me just go back to the over here. Hold on. Yes. So if price pushes beneath the zone over here, I want you to pay attention. Look at the zone there and look at this over here. All right. So where did price come from? From this support area over here. It came from that area over there. But more importantly, this zone is actually the key area, because from there, price actually pushed up. So what we're going to do is, all right, from a short-term perspective, I'm going to have 2 trades set up for myself over here. All right. I'm going to have 2 trades. The first trade is if it dips below 1.17155, I'm going to look to take this specific trade just down to that zone over there. If I get further extension, I'm going to take it down till there. So those are the 2 trades that I'm going to be looking for with the Euro USD. Now, all in all, if you look at it, this is a 24 or 23 point move, and that is a 47 point move. So I'm going to first deal with this 23 point move over here. I'm going to wait for a 5 minute time frame. I'm going to wait for a possible close. If once I get my close there, if it is still in this session, I'm going to take my short right there. All right, that's the Euro USD. Bearing in mind, guys, what's very important for you to know is that overall, this is still very bullish. Okay, it's still very bullish. And so that correction may not even come in this specific session. This might only show up tomorrow. We don't know. All right. I'm seeing some guys in the chat facility there. Cajo's there. Tabatso's there. Beautiful. I'll check those 2 out for you in a moment's time. All right. GBP yen and Euro yen. Let's quickly look at the gold price over here. So obviously this from a much higher time frame, guys. We are absolutely bullish on gold. There's no two ways about it. We're absolutely bullish, and it's now coming back to a base, expecting price to push up again. All right, looks like there's a further extension. There's a further extension to the downside. I just want us to look for the base where price actually pushed up from. That's where price. So I'm expecting price to actually go back until the zone over here. Let's just see. I'm expecting it to actually go back to this area right over there. All right, and let's see what it does in this session here. But I'm looking for some longs. What has happened already, I have gotten my movement to the upside. As you can see, I have my push here from that zone. It went up. So this is actually technically just a correction. And when you look at it from a gold perspective, just to give you some fundies on there, guys, we know that it did hit a new record. The rising geopolitical and trade risks. There's a weaker US dollar. The demand for safe haven is really still there. And the impact is obviously this metal here, then from a gold perspective, is continuing to benefit from the uncertainty, and the volatility is being increased, and it's expected in the short term. So, in as much as guys are looking for possible sells now, guys, this is where the baseline for this impulse was. So if price has to break through this area over here, yes, then it's a different story. In fact, I'm going to place a zone right here, just so you do know. All right, just so you do know. If price has to break below that zone, hold on. That's incorrect. That was an incorrect move there. If price breaks below this area over here, it means it is gone below the baseline. Ash, where's this baseline that you're referring to? It's this zone over here. All right. So if price breaks below that area, I will not look for a long anymore. I'm going to be looking for a deeper sell. All right. And I'll also be using a 5-minute time frame there. So price will need to, at this point in time, all right, first show me what it's going to do here. I'm still anticipating upside. But if price has to break this baseline over here, I'll be looking for sells to go a little bit further over there. And I'll be looking to trade it roughly to this zone right here, which is the place where price actually pushed up from. So that's the impulse. That's the zone that I'm looking for if price does come down. I'm waiting for 5 minutes on this one, and we're going to see where that goes. Remember, this will then have some form of confluence or correlation with Euro USD, all right, with Euro USD. So I'm waiting both for gold and I'm waiting both for Euro USD. They both are bullish at this moment in time. So obviously we're looking for those buys, but if there is a counter movement short term, I'm going to be taking that, especially in this specific session over here, all right. I see there, Kaho, you want the CAD JPY. So the guys on the JPYs here, all right, no problem. Let's quickly go and check out what those suckers are doing there as well. Let's go to work, yeah? All right, I'm just getting the CAD JPY for the guys. We're going to go through all three of them, all right? Just give me a second. We're going to work. All right, let's go to work on the GBP yen real quickly, guys. Come on. All right, time to explain. Come on. All right, currently we are in a correction here with GBP yen, something similar to GBP USD. All right, so there's a correction that's taking place. So I want you to pay attention to this, to all the guys. This is the baseline. That's the baseline. That is where support is more likely to form. All right, so if we go into the lower time frames, you can see that there's been a massive correction already, and we've actually come back into the baseline now. All right, we've come back into it now, so which means that if we go a little bit further down, we want to see which other time frames is more or less going to push down. At this point in time, it's very bullish. It's still very bullish. Look at the 15-minute, look at the 10-minute, look at the 5-minute. It's already oversold. Look at that. It's already oversold. So there's a very big chance that we could be pushing to the upside now. All right. So let's look at this. This is my actual structure that I'm going to be working with over here. Remember, it's all scalping at this point in time, guys. It's all scalping at this point in time. That area right there is going to be key. And another thing, just so you guys do know, is that there is, you can see it here. There is divergence over here. There is divergence. So it looks like it's finding its space now. Look at that. It looks like it's finding its space. But we got to find a zone to work from. All right. We're going to find a zone to actually work from from now. And I'm going to be using a 3-minute time frame and a 5-minute time frame to get an entry. I'm not going to be using a 1-minute frame here at all. Let me see how many pips I get here. 68. That's a beautiful, beautiful trade right there. So this is what I'm going to do with the GBP yen. Let's go to work. All right, so look at this, guys. This is the zone that I'm looking for with the GBP yen. All right, so GBP yen. All right, straightforward. You can see that price has already, from a 1-minute and a 2-minute perspective, has already started to find some form of support. All we need now is for price to start moving back into the zone. Look at that. We are literally just come to the 45 point mark or percentage on the RSI. What I need here now is I need price to move above, all right, the 50, and then obviously get to the 55. That's going to give me my signal. But then I'm going to look for the 212 area, right? I'm going to look for this zone here. Once I get a 5-minute time frame that has and gives me a close above 212, then I'm going to go for a long here, which will join the higher time frames. The bias direction at this point in time is bullish. It is bullish at this point in time. All you're seeing here is a correction. This is a correction taking place at this point in time. What's very important to note also, guys, is that price could move back to this area right here. That's where the impulse is, or where it started from. So price could go down till there. It's absolutely true. All right. And if it does, it's fine. We'll just find another place for us to get into the zone over here, which I think would be around this area here. That would be another one there, but I'm going to wait for it first. The first area is here. That's more important right now. The second area will be roughly around here if we can get a zone there, yeah? All right, let's get to the Euro JPY there for the guys, yeah? Let's have a look. So we have already, we've already come from a base, guys. This has been a crazy movement over here. You can see this is where price pushed to the upside. That's where price found its baseline. And that created that thrust now. Look at that. So that impulse over there is exactly the same impulse that you find over there. So you can see the strength of this chart is to the upside. That's as clear as daylight on the weekly. So at this point in time, we are seeing now on the daily what's managed to happen. There has been a correction. It's been and it's gone back to the base from where it came from. Okay, it's actually gone back. And it looks like it's in recovery zone now. There seems to be a bit more of sellers in the market. When I say that, I'm talking about the strength has really only gone above that 55 now, all right? So it's still bullish, but there's a lot of resistance that is still taking place. So if I go to my 15-minute over here, let's go to the 10. Let's see if there's any resistance on this one. Let's go to work on it, yeah? All right, so this is very interesting. Although it's bullish, there seems to be quite a bit of resistance here now. And I want you to really focus on this. Look at this. So look at the strength right now. All right, look at the strength of the chart. You know, it's definitely diverging at this point in time. So what we want to do here is there might be a retest of the impulse from this side over here. So let's quickly see what's actually happening here. So the 5-minute The base was there. You can see the base here. Look at this. This is where the base happened, right there. All right, which means it's connected to that zone over there. So that's connected. All right. So which means if that was the impulse, pay attention to this, guys, because this is key. All right. Look at the push to the upside. The highest place right now is at about 67 points on, or 67%. Lower than that is at 65. So 67, 65, 64. All right. We have our structure. We have our structure for a short-term move here. From that area to this area. Please watch closely. I'm going to work here. All right, so here we go. All right, so I have it here. What we need now for price to go back here, it's still bullish, it's still heavily bullish. So these are just short-term movements, all right, from that zone. That's where it came from. So we'd essentially need perhaps a 10-minute frame or 15-minute frame to actually close beneath the zone, all right? That's what we're going to need. We're going to need price to close beneath here first. So I'm going to wait on this one, all right? It's still bullish. I'm going to wait on this one. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to wait for it, but it's still bullish. It's still bullish. Let's go to CAD JPY, yeah? All right, so CAD JPY, something similar here, guys. So we're seeing the high, all right, of these two here. There is a lot of divergence here. Look at that zone there. So the true reflection is there. Look at this here. There, that's critical. All right. So it looks like price could still be coming down. There has been a baseline here as well. Let me just find it. So what we're going to wait for here, we need something a little bit extra. So if I find, so you see the zone here, that's a key zone. This is still very bullish though. So this is a key area right here. That's a critical area right there. It's the start of the day. Right there. Okay, this is a key zone here. It's still bullish, but if we do get a break beneath here, 15-minute time frame beneath there, we come down first. At this point in time, we're gonna have to wait and see. Let's look at the gold price. See, look at the gold now. Look at the gold. If I get a 5-minute beneath there, I'm going in for the short. This one here, look at that. It seems like the dollar strengthening a little bit over here now, right? NAS and US 30, they were pretty bearish. There could be some upside coming here, guys. So let's have a look at them as well. I'm just trying to see what's happening here. All right, so we did the GBPN, the EJ, we did the CJ. All right, so we're going to go through a few more, yeah? All right. We also have the gold to the euro has now gone beneath the 4029 area, expecting some more downside now. With the gold to the euro, guys, we're expecting some more downside. And if that's the case, obviously we're seeing the gold to the dollar also looking to come down a little bit. So they might be correlating here for us. You can see this is a previously analyzed structure. So where you see this price here, this zone, that's where I am looking to see it go to. But more importantly, what's important about this, there was a gap at 3963 that could be, closed. Let me just actually put that there, 3963. Guys, there's no fundamentals today. That's why we are purely basing this on technicals.
Incoming mail.
All right, this is clearly technicals here. Apologies for that. This is clearly technicals. 3963 is the area that we are looking to go to. And that will obviously just be in alignment with the higher time frames. It will just be in alignment with the higher time frames. You can see that a correction is taking place here now. The hour is showing us a little bit more detail of that correction, but the 4 hour at this point in time is giving us just a little bit more movement here. Another thing that I want us to notice about this, look at that zone there. All right, let me just make this a little bit thinner, sleeker, and I want you then to look at that zone over there. So you can see here that the exhaustion has kicked in and sellers are coming in here, guys. So that's the key point here. The same is happening with the gold price. So the gold to the dollar, the gold to the euro is showing similar movement here. All right. So we're seeing the correlation, the exhaustion has kicked in, and now we are looking for price to then push a little bit further down. 3963 is the area that I'm going to look at. My GBP USD has already gone to my zone. You can see it right there, 1.34807. It's hit that area. It smashed it. Look at that. Look at that. Beautifully. From this area right here, let me actually show you. From this zone right there has managed to push all the way up. All right. The same with the NZD USD, guys. The same thing happened here on the 4 hour. You can see it a little bit more clearly. From my zone over here, it's now pushed up really, really nice. Look at that. The AUD USD has done exactly the same thing. Let's just see here. I hope I didn't take this off. I actually did. I actually took off this analysis here. I actually should not have, but I did. Okay, I took this analysis off over here, but it does look like it's also coming down. So there really looks like there's a stronger dollar that's actually forming here a little bit now, right? So at 3:30, we're going to have to look at that and see what is happening. All right, so let's quickly just look at the AUD USD. I'm pretty intrigued now because we had initially gotten our move to the upside, which is what we were gunning for. Let me just take this off here. That must have been a mistake. All right, so we had gotten our move to the upside, but it seems like price is now looking to correct a little bit. Now, I want you to pay attention to this part. You see, this is where the base, that's where it came from. That's where, you see this move here? The strength was caught here. All right. And so we pushed up. So we're just looking to correct a little bit here. And that correction, we could be catching it here on the 15-minute frame. I mean, look at this. This is actually phenomenal. So let's go to work on the AUD USD, yeah? All right, I got it, guys. I got it. We are already bearish here. It's already started. The correction has already started. That's the one. There we go. That's it. All right, so it's already started. I'm going to go in now. I'm actually going to get into this now. Yeah, I'm getting into this now. Sorry about that. There we go. So I'm in this now. I've just gotten into a sell. Accidentally pressed buy. All right, so I'm in this now. What I'm looking for. Oh, yes, this is a very nice one. Yeah, I'm in AUD USD. That's AUD USD. I'm in on that one. GBP is in a pullback. Yes, agreed. So the AUD USD is in a pullback. Gold, I'm waiting for the 5-minute now to close beneath. And so let's look back. So gold, I'm waiting. I'm in on the AUD USD. Euro JPY, I'm waiting. Gold to the euro, I'm waiting. Okay, so the one that I'm in now is AUD USD. I'm just waiting for the 5-minute on the gold here to go down. Then I'm going to get into that. All right. GBP USD, like I said, we're waiting. I can't get into it yet. 212.730. So it's just the AUD USD at this point in time, yeah? Let's see what's happening here. This one, I'm not particularly... Let's see. All right. So here there seems to be some movement down as well. Let me see if I can find a zone here. It's too little points. The point is too little. This is, man, price was high at 62. $54. This is not ready. This is not ready. This one's still cooking, guys. This one's not ready. If I have to get in here, it would be, that's too low. 43. That's the one right here. That's the one right there. But hold on, let's get another opinion here. Another opinion time frame. All right, this one is 38. All right, here we go. This is the one. I've got it. See, guys, what I'm doing is I'm finding key areas for price to give me where the momentum can start to go down for the sell. So I'm not looking for a short. I'm looking for momentum. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking for momentum to accelerate. So all of these are minute frames. All right, 5 minutes. I'm waiting on the 5-minute frame here. Looking to take it all the way down. All the way down from there to there. All right. So let's loop back real quickly, yeah? All right, so gold still stuck there. AUD USD, I'm in on this one here. Euro JPY, I'm not in on this one yet. I'm still waiting for it to break beneath. The gold to the euro, I just would like for either a 10 or a 15-minute frame, because there has been a close beneath, but there seems to be a bit of a correction happening now. So I'm going to wait to see what happens with this candle over here. NZD USD, I am waiting for a 5-minute candle beneath the 0.58309. Let me actually just put this in place so you guys can see. 0.58309. That's what I'm looking for right there. 5-minute time frame beneath it, and then I'm going to get into that one over there. All right. So it's just the AUD USD for now. The GBP yen, nothing's happening there. CAD JPY, nothing's happening there yet. The silver price at this point in time, guys, in as much as we would like for price to actually push down. Now, I'm going to be doing something here. Now, I want you to really look at this area there and look at this area here. All right. So there is a key zone here. All right. In actual fact, let me do this. Let me just take this off. Let me just start from scratch here. All right. So there is a key area here that I need to look for. All right. Now I can look for that for a short-term movement, counter movement to the downside, not long-term or anything like that. Okay. Counter movement because price really surged up. All right. With silver, silver stayed, excuse me, near the all-time highs. Pretty same fundamentals as gold. All right. Obviously, you know that silver's also used in manufacturing, industrial work. So it has a bit of its differences there in its core when it comes to gold. So there will be different movement from time to time. But there's a key area in this structure and in this structure over here. All right. So we're looking for the key area in this structure over here. All right. So there's a 15-minute. Let's go down to the 5 and see if we can find it. All right. So let's look. So 5 and 1. Let's go to work on this one. Yeah. Okay, I found it. Yep, there we go. That's it. All right, I found it. This is the key structure. Key level. You know that word key level, right? Let's call it a critical zone. Right there. That's the critical zone. That's the key, the kill zone. There we go. Beautiful. So all Ash really needs here is a 12-minute or 15-minute. Then I'm in. I'll go for a 12 or even a 10. It doesn't matter. You can jump up 2 time frames. All right. So I got it on the 3, verified on the 5, And I'm waiting now for a 12. Let's just get my navigator on here. Let's just get the candle timer on so I can check it out. Yep, 40 something odd minutes. Aerospace defense, we have the Virgin Galactic. You can check this one out here, guys. Went up by 2.31%. That's a stock that you can check out. All right, obviously you can have a look at this when the market opens. That's Virgin Galactic. You can check it out there, guys. It went up by 2.31%. Let's just have a look at this one real quickly here, yeah? All right, so with this one over here, there was actually a failed high here. All right, there was actually a failed high. Price actually pushed to the upside, but you can see that the strength diminished, exhausted at the 50 mark. All right, that's a interesting. Let me just actually make this a little bit more. Yeah, so price went up. Come on, Ash. All right, so price went up, touched it. So at this point in time, we've actually become bearish once again. There seems to be a gap here that could come and be, which is, it's really too far down at this point in time. All right, there seems to be a bit of a hold. This is the structure that's holding. I'm going to show you now. This is the support that's actually holding this share up right now. Hold on, I'm going to tell you now. 47, 39. Okay, so there's a key area. Now, this is not going to look right, you know, but this zone here, that area, is actually the support that's holding this share price up, technically here. That's the zone, which won't make sense, but when you look at the main chart and the oscillator is not a chart that depicts what to do. What the oscillator does is it displays the strength. And momentum and strength go together. So if you're looking at the oscillator here, that's what it's displaying to us. Okay, so this is the support that's holding the stock up at this point in time. All right, that's the stock. Now, what you guys can also do is you can always go and check out. If you go to the market watch, okay, you can right click. You can go to gainers or losers. All right, you can put on your gainers and you'll see the daily change of whether it be stocks, whether it be indices, whether it be currencies, cryptocurrencies, doesn't matter. You're going to see the percentages and the change in what they've done. All right, so you see right at the top there, daily change, and it's lined up in numerical order in terms of strength in percentage changes. So as I go down, you start to see, okay, so this is the assets that have done the worst. And this on the MT5, you can do that. And this is the ones that have done the best, or that's performing from a daily change percentage. All right, so right there you can see there's some crypto up here. You know, then you have the VIX index. That's a volatility index that we have here, guys. Then you have some of the commodities here. Now look at this. A lot of the commodities are up at this point in time. There's silver, there's platinum, there's gold, there's palladium. You have gas as well there. So there's a lot of the commodities that are doing pretty good. When you go further down, there's many of the currencies that are not doing so well at this point in time. You can see them, they're more towards the downside. Look at that. So when we say they're not doing as well, we're saying that there's a bit of a daily change in the strength. It's more bearish at this point in time. All right. Look at the USD CAD minus 0.27%. So that's about 0.25% in daily change weakness. All right. So what you're looking for, if you're looking for opportunities, please make a note of this. Please, this is going to be important for you. All right. What you're looking for, a daily change, you're looking for about 0.25% change. Because if there is 0.25% change, that change can lead to a 0.5% change. That 0.5% change can lead to a 0.75% change, and that can then turn into an entire percentage change. So the setup room is inside of that specific change. So if I were to look at example, let's look at all right. So we have the S&P Mid Cap 400 index. We also have zinc. I think it's zinc. Let's do you know what? Let's do USD CAD. It's about 20 minus 7%, about just over 0.25% of weakness, which is telling us that there is some downside here. Look at that. So there's some downside here now. All right. So if we look at it from that specific angle, we have dipped below the 50. The monthly is the last candle here. Let me actually check the last month here. Where did it close? Bearish. All right. So you can see we're dipping down now. All right. So USD CAD as an example with that just over 0.25%, right? So this is the structure that we're looking at. This area over here. That's the structure. All right. Now, this applies to stocks. This applies to currencies, whichever you will. All right. Now, check this out. The correction has already happened, to the downside here. There's the weakness that is set in. At this point in time, there's a bit of stability on the shorter time frames that's been found here. All right. There's a bit of stability. And the stability is actually started from that area there. This is where it started. All right. Now, this setup here is important because overall we are bearish, but there seems to be a possible correction counter to the upside, and then we return to that move to the downside. All right. Look at the monthly. Look at the weekly. All right. Please pay attention to that. Look at the monthly. All right. And the monthly is showing us exactly the same thing. Look there. And it's showing us there. So you can see there is more sellers giving strength over here. This is going to work exactly the same over here. All right. When it comes to a stock. Let me just go back and show you here. Let me just actually put some more stocks in here. Where's Mel? Mel, are you on? All right, so I'm just putting a few more stocks on here, and then I'm going to just show you there's a lot of the stocks that you can check out, all right? All right, so let's have a look here quickly. Let's have a look. So from a stock perspective, all right, let's just see what's happening over here. Wow, all the stocks that I placed in there is towards the downside. You can also arrange it by sector, right click, sort by sector as well. Look at that. Okay, so there's a few stocks here now. Look at this. So auto home, a little bit down there. You have your Baidu. Some of the stocks that went up. Amazon, daily change there of just close to 1% of strength. The same with Costco wholesale group. Chevron. Remember Chevron from an energy perspective with oil in Venezuela. You want to check that out there. We have American Express here up by 2%. Citigroup just over 0.5%. Healthcare, that's Amgen Incorporated. There's that Virgin Galactic. We have the Coinbase as well. Oracle as well. That is in technology. We have Uber obviously here, guys. So you're looking for something similar to what I've just mentioned, okay? You're looking for something similar. So if you look at Uber as an example, it's just over 0.5%. So if I do that, you can see here that strength on the, let me just do this. All right, so look at that. So from a daily perspective, price for the majority of, you can see here is a bullish Uber at this point in time. All right, what's happening now is a correction. So we're expecting price to push up again. All right, so we're expecting price to push up again. However, what's important now, let's actually just get the zone that's going to be critical here for Uber. All right, that's Uber. This is going to be the first area that's going to be key for you. That's around 55. All right, so that's a very nice area right there. So what I'm trying to catch, let me actually just tell you guys this. So what I'm trying to catch the move before the time. All right, I'm trying to catch the move before the time, meaning that if price pushes above this area here, don't forget this oscillator moves at the base range of 45 and the resistance at 55. This specific zone here on the RSI, when price moves above the 55, there is a higher probability that the extension is coming. So I'm not trying to get in here, because if I get in there, all right, it simply means that I might be getting in at a much higher place. And to prove it to you, to show it to you, this here is where price was at 69, meaning the extension already happened. So I don't want to get in here. All right, I don't want to get in there. I want to get in just before, but here is the second thing to it. Do you see this wick here? There was a rejection. So although both of these signals is on the hour, this hour had a rejection. If I can get an hour candle closing above, all right, it means that I'll be getting in just before price goes into the 60 zone, which gives me the head start and it puts me in the move to go to the upside. That's a very important point. Here there was rejection. There was no other hour frame above. So Uber, I'll be waiting for an hour time frame here. Now, there's many guys, they'll use like moving averages for that. They'll use a 50-day moving average as an example because it does work well with stocks. You know, so here we have a 50-day moving average. So you can see that from that specific angle, if price goes above there, it moves above the average and above my resistance there, giving me a much better signal to actually push into. All right. So once again, go to the market watch. You see that you're looking for a daily change. Look for minimum a 0.25%. All right, 0.25%. Either you're going to be looking for 0.25% to the upside or 0.25% to the downside. Then there's that leeway to actually play with. All right, that's a very, very good point there. All right, in on the GBP USD, but that pullback is deep. All right, we're going to have a look at that. Let's quickly loop back here to the gold price. Still nothing there. AUD USD is really struggling there right now. All right. Euro JPY, nothing yet. This one, look at that. There, it's coming back now. NZD USD, nothing there. Yeah, I think this one has moved ahead. All right, Houdini, I think that one's moved ahead. GBP yen, nothing here yet. CAD JPY, nothing here yet. Yeah, so guys, this is basically technically, this is us doing a lot of technicals right now. There's no fundamentals. There's no releases right now. So this is purely technically based. All of this. All right. Silver also has not gone down yet, so we're gonna wait for this. But it looks like the dollar strength is coming out here. So please watch the charts at 15:30. How the open starts. I think we're gonna get our moves then. All right. I think we're gonna get our moves then. There's the gold price. Look at that now. Look at that now. If I can just get a close beneath it, I'm gonna go into the gold price. All right, so 15:30, guys. Once again, check it out. Again, we'll be back Thursday. I know Thursday. Let's see what's happening on Thursday, guys. Let's just quickly look at this economic calendar right here. So Thursday. Beautiful. We got AUD coming out, employment change. So we'll check that around. And then we have the final GDP quarter on quarter at 3:30 and 5. We got the core PCE price index. That is on Thursday. So there's some fundamentals at play. Beautiful. That's fantastic. All right. So join us again on Thursday, guys. Back again for another trading room. At this point in time, just to conclude, looks like dollar strength is returning here for the US Open. We want to try and capitalize on that by looking at the gold to go down, counter short term. AUD USD going down at this point. NZD USD also. GBP USD has already gone down. Euro USD also down. So it just looks like there's a short counter trend coming for the favor of the dollar at 3:30. So check that out and then let me know. Then I'll keep Uber on here to see what actually happened there. I'll keep the Virgin Galactic on as well to see what has happened over there. But that's the area that we're looking at. All right. See you guys on Thursday, guys, again at 2 o'clock. Looking for some more opportunities. This is just looking for setups, making sure that the guys can see what's happening. All right. And we take it from there. Remember, guys, www.tdmarkets.com. You can also email us at care@tdmarkets.com. Have a fantastic one. Have a fantastic one, guys. I'll see you all Thursday. All right. Have a good one. Ashley Reeve checking out. Ciao, ciao.